How long does it take to heal after miscarriage? I'm going to give you the honest answer. If you look it up on Google, YouTube University, something like that, the internet will tell you about 6 to 8 weeks for physical healing. And for me, like after I gave birth to my heaven baby Avaya, it took about that long for the physical part of it to go away, as far as cramping and the bleeding and stuff like that. But even then, different people, different bodies, different healing journey. So it could be different for you. Then you'll go to the doctor after you give birth to your heaven baby. You have a follow-up appointment. And then the doctor pretty much sends you on your way. Like, you look good to us. All these stuff is gone. They take your blood, make sure all the levels are right. And they're like, okay, see you next year for your check-in. That's pretty much it. That's the full extent of the care. And then your family will check in, maybe for another few weeks or a month, and then they'll just completely forget about it. Or they'll think that you're healed by now and like you're over it, like you've moved on because you're still living life. They kind of see you doing stuff and coming around a little bit more often now just because, you know, you're not in the initial phases of the miscarriage. They'll kind of be like, oh, okay, cool, like she's over it. No. So those people will most likely fall off too. But the reality is for us that the spiritual, mental, mind, soul, body healing of it is not finished yet. Even physically, it's not finished yet. Although the doctor says we're okay, you know, they're only looking at certain metrics to make sure that, you know, parts of the baby aren't inside of us and things like that, just making sure all the fluid is gone. They're doing the stuff as far as that goes, but they're not thinking about us post-pregnancy loss. They're not thinking about us trying to conceive again. They're not thinking about our maternal health. I don't think that wasn't my experience. I didn't get any of that. None of that works on any kind of timeline. The only timeline that we have for our healing is determined by God and by God himself. And just from experience from my own healing journey and the other miracle mamas that I walk alongside for their healing journeys, for all of those elements, it's a journey. Like, so when people give you a time frame, they're lying. It's not going to take you 3 months. It's not going to take you 6 months. It's not going to take you a week. It's not going to take you a year. It all depends on you. Our healing journeys are specific to us, and God only knows what they're supposed to look like. It's not so much the time, you know, God determines the time, but if you do nothing with the time, if you do nothing with the healing season that God has called you to be in, you will have an issue, because that's where you get stuck. When you're avoiding the grief, when you're avoiding your feeling, when you're numbing it and pretending it's not there, when you're finding things to cope with, when you bring it to God, that's when real healing begins. Because real healing can only be done with Jehovah Rapha, God, the healer. Go to the link in my bio to begin your healing journey today. I will walk you through exactly what to do with God to start moving.